Welcome to Between the Lines. It's Thursday night. Happy 4th of July. Hope everybody had a great day. We got a lot to celebrate in America. We got a lot to celebrate right here in Oak Ridge. We have in the studio today, Kenley is here, but we also have other kids here. And they're here, and they are the best 13 and under, 12 and under, what are we going to call 13 and under, and just outstanding, and they are going to the national championships, and that would be the Soccer Club of Oak Ridge 13 and under. We all have travel teams and sports, but you don't get a lot of information or a lot of exposure when you're 13 and under. It's mostly high school kids and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. So these kids went through the entire, help me out, my guest today, who's been on before, big draw, she is Nikki Swisher, former teacher at Norris, that's elementary, who's now the head of the Boys and Girls Clubs in Anderson County.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. Yes. Thank you for being here, Nikki.
Yeah, thanks
Nikki's
for having
two daughters
me.
are here, so we're excited. And the best goalie in the southeastern United States. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to take away from other kids. We have 5 kids in the studio. We're going to talk to all of them about it. But first, we're going to talk to Nikki a little bit about where they've been and what they're doing. And for the first time ever, they're going to the Nationals. And that is not cheap. It's in Wichita?
Wichita, Kansas, yes.
Which reminds me, having traveled over the country, who has anything in Wichita? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Wichita's all right. It's a fun place, but it's very flat.
Yes.
No trees.
Lots of cornfields, the girls
Lots of
have
corn,
said.
which is
yes.
good. Which is good. We used to have a saying in Denver when you go through Kansas. We used to say, if you're going east, leave at night. Because you would go through Kansas and everything looked the same. Every clump of trees looked the same, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
but it's an outstanding soccer team. It's
yes.
I mean, I read up a little bit on what you've done. We thank our sponsor. We have a new sponsor, attorney Matt Goosh, who's opening up in Daniel Forrester's office on Main Street. Good lawyer. We'll talk more about Matt in the weeks upcoming. Did you think in the beginning of the season as a parent, and you're a parent, she's not a coach, let's
Yes.
put you where you are,
Yes.
she has 2 daughters
Just a
on the team.
parent, yes.
Did you think 3 months ago they would be where they are now?
Absolutely not. And no offense to them at all, but,
Yeah.
you know, they won, like last year, they were a 9v9 team, and they won the state championship last year,
Okay.
which is pretty awesome.
What does the
So,
99 team mean?
9v9, they play 9 against 9
Okay.
on the field. There's
Okay.
9 players at a time.
What's the World Cup? 9 on 9?
11v11,
Okay,
right?
okay,
11v11,
okay.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think
Soccer
11v11
field the
is-
same length?
Yes.
They're going to get tired.
Well, now it is. Well, they've had a season to, to play.
Get in shape.
So get in shape, yes.
So they practice at the Oak Ridge High School?
They do, not the Oak Ridge High School. They sometimes will practice there at Blankenship.
Okay.
And then we also have some other fields around the area where we would go to.
Blankenship Field, the revitalized
Yes,
football
and it has a nice turf field, too.
I'm aware of that.
Yes,
I
yes, which
raised
we
a lot
love.
of money for that.
Yes, oh yes.
Anyway,
so we're appreciative of that.
Yeah, that's
for
a
sure.
nice field. Then it's Oak Ridge. They should have access
They
to
should
it.
have access.
Planned
yes.
access and
Yes,
able to
yeah.
use it.
They're
All right, so
pretty
tell me about the journey. How many kids on the team?
Okay, we have 18 on the team right now that's going to the tournaments with us.
It's funny. I
So,
talked
yes.
to the soccer coach. What did we get, Brad? I mean, Brad, we talked to Rose State, Pellissippi, all these places, and everybody carries 18 people.
Yes.
That's kind of the number, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Well,
But you're
when
only having 9
everybody-
on the field at one time, right?
11 on the field. I mean, there's 11. It's 11v11 now. They're 11v11
Okay, it was
now.
9v11.
Yes,
I got
last
it.
year they were.
So now you're up to
9v9.
the World Cup standards, everything.
Yes,
You play like
everything.
everybody.
Yes, just like they would in high
Listen.
school and college. Yes. So it's
Well,
a
I'll
great,
ask the
bigger
girls
field.
about that, see if that's harder or easier.
Yeah.
And we play, and when you play 9v9 versus 9, are there more forwards, less forwards?
It depends on the formation that
Of
they go
course.
with, and so it depends on the team that they're playing. Yeah. So
So
it's
if
all
I
about
was
formation.
playing against Zara, I would put more people up on the field. I'm just saying that.
You would, yes.
I would have to attack.
You might have. You would definitely
Leave
have to
myself
attack
a little
more.
vulnerable on the defense.
Yes, you would.
So you got
Mhm.
11
Yeah.
players, you got 18, so you get to sub.
Yes.
Okay, so these are kids, right?
These are
They're young
kids.
kids, great
They're
kids.
babies,
They're
13 and younger.
They don't
We actually
enjoy it
have an
while you can.
11-year-old on the
Wow.
team. Yes, now. So
I'm going to turn my phone off. That's probably a good idea, isn't it? Okay, so anyway, they go out, they play, the young kids come in and they can they substitute freely?
they can. Mm-hmm.
Not
they can
like where
substitute.
you have 1 minute, you can only go in once. They can go in and out
They can go
as much
in
you
as
want.
much as the coach
Well, that helps
allows.
the coach a lot. At
It
that
definitely
age.
does.
That's a lot of
Well, especially
running.
whenever you have a talent that they have. You know, so
So
it
the
definitely
subs
helps.
play as well, et
Yes.
cetera, et cetera.
They do.
So tell me
yes.
where it started, the tournament. You went to 3 tournaments, right, to get here?
They went to 3 tournaments.
Let's
yes.
start with the first one.
Okay, we were in Murfreesboro
For the
at
state.
the end of May.
For the
For the
state.
state, yes.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, we met up against Emerald Forest, who's right in here. They're in Knoxville, a club out of Knoxville.
You
Same
met up against
team
them in the
again
tournament or in the championship?
in the championship game.
Okay.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
still
So
good.
you went against Emerald Forest, and
Yes.
they're West Knoxville people?
They are
Got all
West-
that money and talent over there, and you still
They
beat
do.
them.
We still beat them, and actually they went into double overtime.
Woo.
Yeah, and went into
That's pressure, Zara, right there.
PKs, and then Zara actually had the winning save on the PK.
On a penalty or
yes.
just a breakaway? Or?
Well, it was PKs.
Penalty
they
kicks,
go,
I got
yes,
it.
they
Okay.
go. Yeah,
So you have 5
against
each like they do in
Yes,
the-
sir.
okay. All
Yes,
right,
that's
all right.
right. Yeah, so Zara had an awesome doe for the ball, which she doesn't love to do. So we were so proud of her. Yeah, she
You mean
she
dive
saved
and
it.
block and-
Oh, dive. Yes, it was
You
a
got
great
to
save.
hit it with your hands?
Yes.
Hit it with your hand? Okay.
Uh-huh, she
So you
sure
went down.
did.
You went down there and you won the state. Then
Yes.
where did you go?
And then we ended up, we were invited to the President's Cup in Plano, Texas. So we were there just 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago this
Okay.
week. I think it's been 3 weeks
All right.
ago this week. So we ventured down there, and it's interesting because we had told the girls, we're just going for the experience, just don't go with a lot of expectations, just go and enjoy the environment and have a good time, because we really didn't know the competition we were going to be facing. And so we
But
played.
don't worry about it. My girls don't read the paper.
And,
They come to play and win.
yes, they do,
Okay.
and
All
that's
right.
exactly right. Yes, because on paper, the coach has said oftentimes, he's like, on paper, there's no reason you all should be here, but they always find a way to win.
I'm not
and
trying to
it's so
single
true.
it out, but in
But it's
basketball,
so
you need
true.
a center. Football, you
Yes.
need a quarterback.
Yes.
Soccer, you need a goalie.
Yes.
And you can dominate. Like pitching dominates the World Series, goalies dominate playoffs. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
In hockey, if
That
you
is
got a
a
hot
team.
goalie, you can ride through the playoffs. That's how it works sometimes. All right.
She's an amazing.
And goalies, you really got to include them with defense. I mean, it's
Yes.
all one
Yeah.
on one formation.
Yes.
Tell me about the coaching staff.
The coaching staff, we just have one coach actually right now. And then we have our new Jacob Slack. His daughter McKenna is joining our team again for the upcoming season. So she's come on and she's playing with us right now. So Jacob, they're from McMinn County.
Okay.
So a good ways away. We have huge
Oh, I'm down
makeup.
there a lot. I know where it
yes,
is, yeah.
yes. So
McMinn, yeah.
he's helping right now as well, and we'll
Good.
continue the next season. So
Good.
yeah, it's Sean Moye, and he's fantastic. He has a great resume when it comes to soccer. He came on staff last fall, midway through the season.
He's your coach
and
now?
He's a coach now, yes. And so it's been an interesting shift for him because he's used to coaching boys, and then he's handed all these teenage year girls, and so he's
Does he
he's
yell
really
a lot,
good.
girls? She came right out.
Yeah, Kate's
the
like,
old
yes.
came right out and said too much. Yeah. No, she didn't
Yes,
say.
no, but he's good. I mean, he's very tactical. He knows soccer inside and out, and he's played ODP. He played college, so he knows how to get these girls prepared for that next level. So we've been very pleased with him.
Okay, so you went down there. Tell me, how many
Yes,
games did you
sorry.
play down there?
In Texas, we played 5.
I would say if you're going to go all the way to Texas, you need to play some games.
We played 5. You're guaranteed 3 games, so same as what we're getting ready
But
to
you
face in
won
Kansas.
in advance, so you got 2 more.
They won in advance, so yes.
Did they
And
lose
so-
any games?
No, not only did they not lose, they never got scored on either. They shut
goalie
out
again.
all
Yeah.
5 states. And so we're talking about the top teams from each
How many?
state.
Wow.
Yes.
So
that we
what
played
5
against.
states were they?
Okay, girls, help me out. We played
So you beat the
Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Texas, South Carolina.
Sound like
Yes.
the SEC champs, don't they? I mean, okay. So,
It is. So
but Texas,
that's-
they beat the Texas
They
State.
beat the
do they play soccer in Texas?
Oh, yes.
That's
It's
a big
huge.
place.
Well, and honestly, like Florida and Texas were the ones we were told are the teams to beat.
Right.
And so they
A lot of sun
They
in
obviously
both places.
Yes,
I mean, you
yeah.
don't get
So
what
they
you
did.
get somewhere.
I mean, it was phenomenal. Yeah, they played them so well.
So no team. What was it called? The
It was
President's
called the
Cup?
President's Cup, Southeastern President's
Right,
Cup.
that makes sense now.
Southeastern
you,
President's
you wouldn't
Cup.
deal with Virginia or
Not
Maryland
yet.
or something. Oh, they're
no,
coming.
those are coming.
Those are
yes.
soccer players.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'm surprised Texas didn't have more Hispanic influence.
They did.
With some
Yeah.
skill level. I mean,
They-
they're so
well,
skilled in this sport.
When you see these girls play together, though,
Right.
they are so humble, and I'm just saying, the way they work together, it's magical. It's just something magical on the team. They're more about each other than they are for themselves, and they work so well together. Like it's
Wouldn't
beautiful
it be
to
great if all
watch.
teams were like that?
I know, yes. And that's the thing that's kept us together because, we have such a mix of girls from a range of areas. So we have some, like, our girls were from Rocky Top, Lake City.
Yeah.
And then you have Knoxville area. You've got Harriman. You also have girls from Kingston. We have McMinn County.
So we have 18 girls. How many are from Oak Ridge?
2.
How many are two from Lake City?
2 from Lake City. There's 3 of us from Anderson County. You have
Area.
Leah Nichols.
Okay,
who's from
7.
Norris.
We're not even halfway. Where are the rest of them?
Kingston.
Okay.
A couple from Kingston.
Right.
And then you've got 3 from Kingston, right, girls? And then Harriman. And then we
Knoxville.
have 3 coming, some from Knoxville. I think only
It's pretty split
Zara,
up. It's pretty
you're
split up,
from
isn't it?
Knoxville? From Carnes, okay. And then Josie's from Knox. Is she from Oak Ridge? Okay, yeah. Oh, we have 3 from Oak Ridge. I stand corrected.
Okay,
3 from Oak
but,
Ridge. So
but still,
there's-
it looks like Oak Ridge is the desired place to play if you're 12 years old or 13 years old.
Yes.
You're,
Well, it's the girls that bring the draw. Like, we've had a couple of girls who played on other teams that would play against us last season, and they love the dynamics of our team. And so when it came time to make a decision to go, do
Sure.
I stay with the same team or can I go to another? They will come to our tryouts because they love our girls and they love the chemistry of our girls. Yeah.
Okay, so we played 5 games,
In Texas, yes.
and we played how many in Murfreesboro?
In Murfreesboro, we played 4. I can't see that far, Michael.
So it doesn't
4.
matter.
4.
Okay.
Sorry. my
Michael's
vision's
weighed
not
in.
yours.
So it's
Told you should be up here with me.
no, you're doing great. So we have 9. We had 9 games, and nobody scored on you.
Nobody scored on us, no, except for in PKs. That was the only one. Whenever
What's
we
in
went into
PK?
overtime. When you go into overtime,
No, I understand overtime, but what's in what multiple penalty kicks? Was that in?
What? Hold on.
Oh, I got you.
What, honey? Oh,
Don't-
no, he's talking about the tournaments.
Only on
Yeah,
tournaments.
only
We're
on
trying to figure it out. But they got penalty kicks. If you lose, you don't get any. You don't show any yourself 0.
Right, you go like
If I
one
beat you
against
3
the
to 2
other.
penalty kicks and it's over, it's going to just say they won 1-0
Well, it'll say 3-2.
in penalty kicks.
Yes,
Okay.
penalty kicks, yes.
So if we go with the 2 halves times 9, 18 halves, nobody scored on Zara, right?
No.
Getting a name
No.
right on
I
it.
know, you're getting her name right.
I'm doing better. Okay.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
where we are on that. Okay. So you got those 9 games, and now you get back, you're resting, great season, and now you got to go somewhere else.
And now we're going to Wichita, Kansas.
4.
We're going next Wednesday. We leave out, and the girls have opening ceremonies on July 11th.
Opening ceremony.
Opening ceremonies, yeah. And apparently it's this huge ceremony that they have. So they invite all the girls. They'll introduce all the teams on stage, and it's my understanding
How
it's
many
about the
teams?
size. Ooh, how many teams?
Roughly.
8.
Kate knows her stuff. Yeah,
I'm
Kate.
telling you. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just
8.
here to support.
So
you,
every
support.
region has
is the top 2.
Top 2 go.
Top 2 go. Yes. Yes, sir. So it's an opening ceremony about the size of Thompson Bowling Arena. And so they'll introduce the girls, they'll walk across the stage, and then they'll get to
And
exchange.
where do you play? What field do you play on? You know any of that stuff? Like, are there multiple fields?
There will be multiple.
Yeah,
It'll be
there
like a
you go.
huge complex.
That's
Yes,
right. That's
and they'll
what
have
they do.
multiple games
like
going
Carnes
on.
has a complex.
Because they have all age groups. U13 is the youngest group that's going. And
Oh,
they'll
no,
go all the
oldest
way
too.
up through high school.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a great, just listening to college coaches over the last month or two, it's a great opportunity for these kids to be seen and do things.
absolutely
And coaches
it is.
will watch them.
Yes.
And they know what to look for in a 13-year-old.
Yes,
that
they do.
will
Well,
develop
you know,
in a 17, 18 years old, especially if you have a good coach.
You-
All right, we're going to take a break. Nikki's time's up, folks.
Thank you.
You're so happy. We're going to bring the girls on and talk a little bit about the game and what's going on. Thank you, Chandler.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
Fan Gear Barn is Oak Ridge's source for new and vintage sports fan gear from around the world of sports. Find your favorite team gear at Fan Gear Barn, located at 977 Oak Ridge Turnpike, across from the hospital. Open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., 6 days a week. Closed on Sundays.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance clean energy and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear and environmental fields.
Prescription drug misuse is a prevalent and potentially fatal problem. When people do not properly monitor, store, and dispose their medications, it can create an opportunity for misuse. Count it. Make it a goal to count your pills once every 2 weeks. Lock it. Secure your medications at home. Drop it. Drop off unused or expired medications for proper disposal at any police department in Anderson County. For more info, visit asapofanderson.org. Brought to you by ASAP of Anderson. Prevention works.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference. So we can all continue to move forward together.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Welcome back. We're now in that stage where we talk to the undefeated and extremely talented young soccer club of Oak Ridge players. And we got Kate and Aurora. Aurora is an implant from California as a little baby, right, Aurora? And what position do you play, Aurora?
I play right forward.
So you get to shoot a lot, strike a lot. What would you say? Strike? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we started this. How long have you been a member of the club? Just this year? Or 2 years?
I've been with this club, I think, for like 6 years. I started when I was...
Not 13 and under, though. It was 7 under, 9 under. It changed every year.
I guess, yeah.
So it's been a long time. I mean, I get what you're saying. So you got 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds on the team. One 11-year-old, right, or two? Okay. And we've done... Did y'all think you'd win all this and go to the Nationals?
No.
Surprise you a little bit?
Yeah.
Were all the games kind of like close? I mean, obviously we know that we had a lot of low-scoring games, and it did stuff. How many goals did you score? A lot?
Maybe, so this
in the
last...
5 games in the last tournament, did you score any goals?
Yeah, I think I scored 3, maybe.
That's pretty good. Goals are hard to get. Kay, you play forward?
I play center
This is
defense.
Nikki's oldest daughter, Kay.
I play center defense.
Center defense.
Yeah.
Now, what's it? You guys are going to have to help me. I'm a basketball and football player. So you got goalie. I love the World Cup, though. Goalie, and then we have 3 forwards, a line of defense. What do we have in the center?
Well, it depends on the formation.
Pick a formation.
Okay, let's 4-3-3, 4-4-2.
Where's the 4 on the defense or the offense?
4 is defense.
Okay, so we got 4 back here. Then we have 3 and 3, or 3-2, you said?
Or you can have 3 in the middle and 3 up top, or you can have 4 in the middle and 2 up top.
Right, and you're over here on the right side?
Yes.
You're a forward striker. Okay. Okay, and you're back here in the middle, but you're center, right, on defense?
Yeah.
Okay. And these people back here, these young ladies back here, they defend. They got to drop back and defend. At your age, do y'all get any kind of scouting report where you know you're going to go up against a good player and you change and you watch that player a lot? Like if you were playing against Michael Jordan, you're going to put 2 people on him, right? You're not going to let Michael run him down the court.
Yeah.
I better get somebody in your age group, like LeBron James. What do y'all do? How do y'all plan for a game?
I guess we kind of just like talk. So we talked the night before a lot on of how the team played before, because we had some people go to their game and just watch how they play, and then we would just kind of talk about tactics and how we were going to play the next morning or the next day.
Nikki talked all about how much teamwork y'all have. Y'all get along really well.
Yes, we have a very strong bond with.
And you've been together, most of you have been together for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a coaching change in the middle, and you got a new coach and new strategies. I remember that because I remember that happened. When you play, the tournament is pretty well known. You guys did extraordinary things. Do you have a regular seasonal league that you play in?
Yes, we play some scrimmages, but our league is usually TSO, which is the state league.
Okay, and how many games would you play during that year before you start tournaments?
We'd play every team in that league to see if we could qualify for that tournament.
Great. How many teams is that? Guessing.
6.
It's not 3, right? I mean, it's more than
Yeah,
that.
it's like between 6 and 8.
Do you play them once or twice?
Once.
So you get the best records, and they decide who goes to. Like if you're 0-7 or 0-8, you're probably not going to go to the tournament.
Yeah.
But anybody 500 or better probably goes, because the tournament's got to have 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
inside the dish, something like that. I'm just
Something
being
like that.
conceptual about that, et cetera. So, on defense, you're back here. You follow down. You're going down the right side with the ball, or defense is coming up here a little bit. Do you ever score? Do defenders ever score?
It would have to be a very long ball, but sometimes I get put into the midfield.
A long ball from the defender to the goal, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I got it. All right. So, y'all being from so many different areas, y'all wouldn't even know each other in schools. We talked about, I went to Jefferson, you went to Jefferson. But, you know, we can't. You go to Lake City, you go to McMinn County. It's kind of odd that all of you get together so well, and you know, it's just there's so many different kinds of kids. I mean, that's pretty neat. That is really neat. Tell me about the season starts. How much running do you do?
We don't necessarily do a lot of running. It's more as like a lot of sprints because that's what we do in the game.
How long is the field? Field's about 100 yards, like a football field, or is it a little longer? So when you're running, especially if you're on the defensive side, you're going to run a lot, right?
Yeah,
I guess offense is kind of the same because they come down and strike, but when the other team's coming down there in the back, still pretty interesting. How long are games? Do you know what the time clock is?
70 minutes.
Yeah, it's 2 35-minute
That's
halves.
a long time. I mean, it's not 45 like the pros, but that's still a long time. And you don't get any. How often do we sub? Does anybody play the whole game?
You do.
One person
Most of the
does.
time.
Yeah. Your goalie plays the whole game, right?
And then most of the defense plays the whole game too.
Yeah.
Are y'all pointing at her? Are you pointing at Kate? Is that what it is? Kate plays. Do you get tired?
Yeah.
How many timeouts do you get? One in each half?
It depends on the temperature. So if it's really hot, we'll have a water break during
Like right at the
15.
half of the half.
Yeah.
And what we call like a quarter in other sports.
Oh,
Yeah.
quarter.
And that break is a league break. They do it because of the water. You don't have to call time. They'll just stop the game and let everybody drink water. Make sure everybody's hydrated. Does it interfere with your school at all in the spring? Do you practice and everything, and you have to travel? Do you find your homework's harder, or can you tell me anything about that?
Luckily, we didn't have a lot of homework this year because we couldn't take our Chromebooks home. So I didn't have to worry about that, but I'm
We
sure.
may bring you back on for that.
I do my homework during class. I sneak. Yeah.
My son graduated from Oak Ridge High School this year. He never did any homework for 2 years. If he couldn't get it done in school, and Oak Ridge is hard, he took advanced AP classes, but he did it in school. He'd work on it in break, work on it during, but when he came home and stayed in the car, he never brought his stuff in. Well, if he had a big test, he might look at it for a few hours, and he made good grades, pretty good grades. But I mean, I don't understand how you do it without homework. But his stuff was more reading, science, math. It wasn't as much, like if it's a history thing, you've got to read a whole thing on history and stuff like that. So you think that nobody on your team is affected by grades? Everybody's pretty good shape. Soccer doesn't interfere with school.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah, it doesn't affect it.
It's a lot easier for you. You're right here, right? I mean, you get to come to practice. It's an hour. I mean,
Yeah, it's only like
10
a
minute,
10 minutes, yeah.
or 4 or 5 or whatever. Because if you're a blanket ship on that side of town, Jefferson's right across, that kind of thing. When you're in Lake City, you got to drive 30 minutes each way, 35 minutes each way. Yeah, you can study in the car. Okay, so we're going to the Nationals. What do you think is going to happen? There's 8 teams. Take your best guess. You think you've just won 2 big tournaments, you got a chance to win this thing?
I think if we all come out and play our games, then yeah, we definitely have a chance.
I think we'll win. Let's see. We'll play, do we have a guaranteed 3 games?
Yes.
I think the first 3 games, I think that we're going to win 2 out of the 3, or maybe all 3.
Does that qualify you to move on? 2 out of 3? Or do you have to go undefeated?
Well, you just can't lose 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's a double elimination
Yes.
tournament. I got it. Okay. So you win 2 out of 3. You're in the losers bracket, hypothetically. So now you got to play a winner on the other side. And you think that's where it gets too tough? Tougher. Could be tougher. Yeah. Well, anything you do from here is just icing on the cake, as we said back in when me and Abraham Lincoln were in school. You say it's icing on the cake because basically you've already achieved more than anybody expected.
Yeah.
But you don't know. You're a forward, shoot the ball. I'm telling you, I coach kids, AAU, same age, a little bit older, high school, AAU, across state, and I used to tell my best shooters, shoot the ball. Nobody's name gets in the paper for not shooting. When you're up there, you got to score. When you practice, do you have the same thing as hockey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots to shoot on the goalie?
Kind of. We do some drills with shooting like that.
Where do you shoot? If I'm the goalie, and I'm preparing for one of the good players, where do I think you're going to shoot it? High, left, low? Do you have any?
I don't really know. Just
do you like to lift the ball, or are you?
It kind of depends.
That's a good question. Is the ball coming at him harder on a low shot or on a high shot, or it doesn't matter?
It does. I don't. Think
Except a low shot can hit the ground and cause friction before it gets there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Okay, that's interesting. Who's your favorite soccer players in the world? Girls, guys, anybody?
Well, I don't really have like a favorite player at all, but I mean, I just kind of watch like soccer.
You watch
It's just on
men
TV.
and women? You
Yeah.
watch both?
It's just on TV. I'll just turn it on and watch.
Women's soccer's come a long way in the last 12 years. Olympics and everything else has become a bigger. And let's face it, Caitlin Clark helps everybody. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody watches her. I mean, I never have watched women's basketball in my life, and I turn on and watch Sunday all day. I watch the whole game just to see what would happen, how interesting she is.
My
Great
mom
passer.
watched the game last night. I kind of.
Did they play last night?
Yeah.
They
I
got
think
killed,
they did.
didn't they?
Maybe I
Yeah.
forgot.
I mean, they played the number one team in the league. But, you know. Okay, you guys have done a great job. I'm going to let you guys go and sit, and I'm going to bring on. You want to do some more?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Well,
Just checking. You know, I mean, that's it. I tell you, the spokesman for the team. I don't have to talk to nobody else. But I'm proud of you guys. Everybody in Oak Ridge is proud of you. Everybody in your towns are proud of you. You need to get some recognition for this. We're going to do our best to get that recognition for you. Like one of the things we'll hang medals or we'll figure something out, right?
Yes.
All right, Kate. I appreciate you two coming on. Okay, team two, the other two. I'm finishing with the goalie. Do we go long enough? Okay, let's take a break. We'll be back.
thank you
2
for
minutes.
having us.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference. So we can all continue to move forward together.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
This is my husband, Alex Hussey. Alex is about 2 weeks away from coming home.
I was playing man in foot patrol, and I stopped on the bomb. Lost my legs, my left hand, in an explosion.
And he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
There are so many mountains to climb, and we do it together.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
To watch Alex take on this mountain, that's what this is all about.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Alex has conquered this mountain. That's something he won't forget.
With the right support, there are no limits.
Look at that smile! You did it!
But there's more to be done, and more victories to be won.
This has meant so much.
Thank you, DAV.
Alex Hussey, thank you for your service. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance clean energy and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear and environmental fields.
Fan Gear Barn is Oak Ridge's source for new and vintage sports fan gear from around the world of sports. Find your favorite team gear at Fan Gear Barn, located at 977 Oak Ridge Turnpike, across from the hospital. Open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., 6 days a week. Closed on Sundays.
Welcome back. We're talking to the Oak Ridge Soccer Youth Program Southeast champions who are heading to Wichita, and they're going to represent Oak Ridge and the whole Southeast, try to win the national championship for 13 and under. Never been done before in this area. It's incredible. And now Kinley's on. Then Kinley is Kate's twin sister. I've been asking her which one's the oldest. I've been showing my intelligence today. But they are twins. I knew that, and I forgot. So they are here. And another pride of Jefferson, Maddie's here. Went to same school, me and Maddie, and everything. That's the way it is. And so we have some talent in this town. We have 18 kids from around the area that play in the surrounding counties, but we have 3 Oak Ridgers here, and we're very proud of all of them. Okay, guys, tell me what they left out. It's hard going second because they say everything in the first round, right? Yeah. Both these young ladies are going to 8th grade next year. They're leaders on the team. They've been involved for years. What position do you play, Maddie?
Right wing, mainly.
Is that the same thing that's the same thing she plays, right? Who's the right forward? Is wing forward?
No, it's like
midfield.
Thank you. See, I know hockey, and I know other sports, and it's just basketball. So wings are, up front shooting, but you're talking about you would be in that 3 in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're over here. Where's Kate? In the center.
Would be like, yeah.
In the center. Yeah. And the ball hog, what was her name again? She's up here. She shoots all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, just kidding. We're just kidding. She didn't shoot all the time. A ball hog, somebody shoots every time.
That's a good thing, though.
That's a good thing. We're not saying it's a bad thing. We're saying it's a good thing. All right. So you guys have won so many games, and nobody's scored. And we'll deal with that in the last chapter of the show. But you guys have done so many good things. What has been the most exciting thing for you guys in the whole trip?
Winning.
I like that kid a lot. I like her a lot. I'm going to write a check today. I like that kid a lot. Okay. Did you win last year?
Yeah.
Did you win more this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, here's a serious question. Are you getting better as a team?
Yeah.
Why?
Just like all the practices and stuff. Like,
I think
we're becoming more
our
developed.
coach is making us more serious now.
Okay, that makes sense. I coached AAU girls and boys, and my biggest problem is that with guys, they were all into their own selves. With girls, they just had a good time. It was hard to get them to focus sometimes. High school kids, they wanted to hang out and talk instead of drilling straight into it because they didn't have that ego drive. They were a team. They played like you guys, better as a team. What are you better at? Obviously goaltending, but what are your midfielders and your forwards and your defense playing better together?
Yes.
Who's new this year that helped the team a lot?
Josie.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that's the extra Oak Ridger. Okay.
And then Jazzy and Emma joined last season.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What would you say is the strength of the team outside of goaltending? What would you say the strength is? Which one of these 3 lines would a professional soccer player come in and say that's the best set of line? That's the best.
Defense.
Yeah, defense.
Defense. Everybody said that tonight. Defense. They don't get in there. That's good. Okay. What's the hardest line to play on?
Defense, probably, because it's the stress of it all.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because once the ball crosses center and it gets past you 3, it's coming. Yeah, and then you got to play 1-on-1, right? You got to defend them. You ever get to play defense?
Yeah. For up by a lot.
Well, if you're a center person, if you're on the center line, you're going to play defense anyway. Once the ball gets into the center part of the field, right, and the passes start coming across field, you've got to do all of that stuff. So, I get that. I get it. What was in the 5 games you played in this last tournament, what really grew? What really did y'all do well?
We played through balls really well, where we find the gaps and play it to them, and then the forwards,
when they have the ball?
Whenever we have the ball. We would,
so you shoot it through the zone?
Yeah, and then the forwards would run onto it and take it down towards the goal. Right.
So what do you, in a through ball, it would be from the defense to the forwards, right?
No, well, it'd be midfield.
So the midfielders will get it and shoot it down into the forwards.
Yeah.
And they'd be able to run and catch the ball, and no different. You catch up with it and you go with it, et cetera, et cetera. Interesting. How many shots on goal in a game, roughly? Just pick
for us, like our team.
So how many?
For our team, or
yeah, for a team. You win a game 2-0. How many times did you shoot on goal? Your team, 6, 8, 10? I just don't know girls 13-year-old soccer. Is it 18 shots or is it 3 shots on goal?
It depends on the competition, though.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But on average, what would you say?
6 to 8. Probably.
that the goaltender has to actually feel? 6 to 8.
Yeah, I'd say so.
How many, as the game goes on, everybody gets tighter. Is there less, are you slower? Is there less penetration? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like whenever they start getting tired, I feel like that pushes us even farther to go harder.
Okay. Is everybody on your team in pretty good shape? I mean,
Yeah.
conditioned, we got where they need to go. Okay. Why are you wearing these Robertsville colors? Tell them, Maddie. I'm just
I have to, you know.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so what do you expect from the national tournament? Just tell me, when you're sitting there at the house and you're on your phone, you're thinking, what do you say? I knew they'd be on their phone. Let's throw that in. What are you thinking? What are you expecting? What are you afraid of? What?
Harder competition, maybe a stronger defense line from them. Because a lot of times they have like really strong offense, but their defense can be a bit weak. Probably bigger players too.
I don't think bigger players matter in soccer, does it? Does it really?
I feel
if
like
you're quick, it doesn't matter. Pele was 5'6", you know what I mean? Just going back a little ways for the kids, but that's all right. Do midfielders get to score much?
Sometimes.
Have you scored any goals this year?
I've scored one.
Good ones too.
Did you score?
Yeah.
She scored a bunch. She scored this past in Texas too.
Did you? How many did you score in Texas?
1, I think.
One's all it took. Et cetera, et cetera. So, is the traveling hard? I mean, you get to go out there. I presume you're driving cars and not flying.
We're taking a big bus to get
Get a big bus like a pro. That's great. I think Mrs. Swisher told me that y'all got at least a bus and go. That's fun. When you're your age, it's fun. We used to go state tournaments and we'd ride in the bus, and by the time we got there, we forgot there was a basketball game. I mean, that's a lot of fun. How long does it take to get out there, you guys? You got where are we going?
Kansas.
Okay, so you won't have to spend the night. You'll go straight through. You'll get up 5 in the morning, go and get there that evening. They're going to be exhausted from that. Can they get out there to rest for a day?
Yes.
And get to practice and all that stuff? How many fields are we practicing? How many fields is the tournament on? I can't get over how mature these kids are. They're just serious. They got their stuff together, et cetera, et cetera. They don't do much homework, but other than that, they're really, well, their jobs, right? All right. Do you get to help your mother at the Boys Club Girl? I mean, not your mother. Yeah, your mother. Boys Club Girls Club?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
She just started this week. So.
Oh, I thought she'd been there a couple months. You just started? Wow. Okay. That's it. Boys and Girls Club. There is one outside of Oak Ridge, out in Anderson County, do a great job. Massive number of kids. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a great turnout, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So is there anybody, I'm thinking of questions that matter. Do you know any of the teams in the tournament? Do you have a list of them? What states are they from?
But we're going to try to win anyways.
I get that part. I like that, Maddie. Maddie may be my favorite. What?
You're just going to show up and play.
Yep.
But inquiring minds and the fans want to know, I mean, is there a New York team or is there an Illinois team?
Massachusetts.
Michael's on the phone. There's a California, he has to be a California team. They'll probably be 6 foot tall and curly hair. And
it don't matter.
I'm 11.
Trying to win.
Et cetera. They're trying to get all of that done. All right, we're going to talk to the goalie here in just a couple of minutes. And we're going to find out how nobody scores on her. We're going to figure it out. But she's probably see her a few years. See all these kids playing. I think all this group is going to be talented enough to play college. So we're going to see. I got to play high school first. All right.
Yeah.
Does Anderson County have a team?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to Anderson County? Okay. So Anderson County, actually, the coach of the team is a friend of mine who lives in Oak Ridge, and a long time ago, he doesn't coach anymore, but Anderson County's had soccer for a long time. They do okay out there, yeah, et cetera. So naturally, the Wildcats will be extremely dominant. That's always right. Maddie will be out there. Y'all play. It's funny though. Y'all be playing against each other in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Not in the summertime. You can play on a league, but I mean, you're all prepared and ready to go. All right. Well, I appreciate it. You guys are great. Really, seriously, you did great. We'll be back in about 3 minutes to finish up with the best goalie in America.
Yeah.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
Fan Gear Barn is Oak Ridge's source for new and vintage sports fan gear from around the world of sports. Find your favorite team gear at Fan Gear Barn, located at 977 Oak Ridge Turnpike, across from the hospital. Open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., 6 days a week. Closed on Sundays.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance clean energy and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear and environmental fields.
Prescription drug misuse is a prevalent and potentially fatal problem. When people do not properly monitor, store, and dispose their medications, it can create an opportunity for misuse. Count it. Make it a goal to count your pills once every 2 weeks. Lock it. Secure your medications at home. Drop it. Drop off unused or expired medications for proper disposal at any police department in Anderson County. For more info, visit asapofanderson.org. Brought to you by ASAP of Anderson. Prevention works.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference, so we can all continue to move forward together.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Welcome back. Here we go on July 4th, the final night. We're talking about independence. We're talking about the best 13-year-old soccer team in the Southeast, who is up against a national tournament. The Soccer Club Oak Ridge could win the national championship. They're going in a couple of weeks. We have the best goalie in the Southeast, maybe the whole country, sitting with us now. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. 12 years old, folks, and nobody can score on her. It's amazing. She went to the Texas tournament, played 5 games. Not one single goal was scored on her in regulation in those 10 periods or those 10 halves. I got to get all my sports ready to go. We're looking up for some of those teams we'll be playing. I'm sure we'll find it eventually. They're looking up the schedule, all the different regions, east, west. We're the southeast. When did you first start playing? When did you first start playing soccer?
Soccer wasn't actually my first sport, so.
What was your first sport?
Basketball.
Good choice.
And so I just came because some of my friends played it, and they needed a goalie for the team. So
and I played goalie intramural at Middle Tennessee when I was on the basketball team, and it's the same kind of game. You got hands, you got you know how it is. You got to be able to move, play a little bit of defense and stuff, and that was part of it. So when did you start playing goalie?
3.5 years ago for Oak
long.
Ridge. They were my first team, and I just haven't left.
That's good. 3.5. So you live in Carnes and you go to Webb. Mm-hmm. Good school. That whole valley, that Catholic, CAK, Webb, they're all on the same road. They all play hard. And great schools. So many different stories of soccer that I've heard over the years and out there. And I told this on the air 3 or 4 times, but my favorite story, I'm going to tell it again. My coach of Webb, who also coached the intramural, they asked Webb won the state championship, maybe 1917, I can't remember. They won the soccer championship. They go up and they said, who's the best player you've ever coached? And he's talked about somebody from Webb. And they said, who's the best player you've ever seen? He said, that would be Harrison Smith, the football player from Catholic, who been with the Minnesota Vikings 12 years. But he never played high school, but he had such great hands and feet. He was the best soccer player he'd ever seen. So soccer does overlap a great deal, I think, in that situation. So when you first started 3.5 years ago and you're playing goalie, one of my best friend's daughter played goalie at Oak Ridge High School and went on to play a little college. What was the key to learning how to do it as well as you do it?
I think it's just like you have to believe to achieve. And
that sounds like a slogan, though. You know what I mean? On a t-shirt
yeah,
or something. I can't do much with that. I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah. So.
But goalie's the most goalie's the most. It's not a team position. It's you. It's a relief pitcher. It's a goalie. It's you in the world. I mean, you love your teammates. You can look up there and say, Matty, why didn't you block that guy or something? But in the end, it's you and the shooter one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And 2-on-1s are different because you got to go here, and they're still talking about your save where you had to extend and stuff in some of the playoff shootouts. But so you get in there and you start practicing. And I'm sorry I interrupted you. Believe to achieve. So we'll go back to that. Believe. What do you mean by that?
You have to think that you can do well to know you can do well. And I feel like training is also a big part, and you have to have a good trainer, somebody who can teach you lessons that you carry on through your soccer career.
How are you different than other goalies?
I feel like I don't give up, and I feel like if there's a goal scored, then I just reset my mind and be like, it's 0-0, it's anybody's game still.
That's kind of a cornerback mentality. You get beat, you just got to go right back up there and guard the next person. Have you all seen that video on Facebook where the guy comes down and he kicks a penalty kick, right? And it bounces up, and he misses it, and he's celebrating. The goalie runs over, he's celebrating, and the ball bounces backwards and goes in the goal, and they win the game. You got to kind of stay with it, don't you?
Yeah.
Are you a good kicker? Are you a good punter?
Not the best, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. Well, if you punt it to 100, can you punt it to the midfield?
Yeah.
Or do you tend to just punt it out to the side?
It's a hit or miss. Honestly, it just depends on if I warm up my kicks.
Do you practice that a lot overall, month to month, year to year?
Maybe. Not a lot.
Okay.
But if I have a chance to, then I will, why not?
Okay. So how many times a game does somebody line you up and shoot that ball at you, and it's just you and them?
Not that much, just because we have really good defenders, but yeah, not a lot.
The high school coaches that were here and the college coaches, I talked to their goalies, and they said maybe 2 or 3 breakouts a game. That's about what they get.
Yeah.
And that's it. Mm-hmm. Do you get? I mean, I know enough about hockey and basketball and different things. Is that kickers coming down the lane, they're going to try to front the ball, center the ball, right, so they can get at you. So you got to watch this corner, and you're hoping your defender can get back and guard the other person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you all practice that. How do you keep all these teams from scoring at all?
I feel like it's not just me. I feel like it's my defense. I think they're what really makes it so that nobody.
She's mature beyond her years, isn't she? Yeah. Okay. That's that Webb influence. I mean, they're smart over there, aren't they? Have you been at Webb long?
Yeah. I'm an Evergreen. I was the first pre-K class.
Wow. So you've been there 7, 8 years, right? Mm-hmm. That's exciting. That's where my son was. He went to St. Mary's for 10 years on Oak Ridge. You go out on the field. I'm just trying to take some situations. You go out on the field, 2 35-minute halves. Is it harder to play goalie in the first half or the second half?
I think the second half, because there's a lot riding on it. So if it's 0-0 in the first half, then it's still anybody's game.
Are you relieved when your team scores first?
Yeah, it's like, okay,
I'm thinking of me playing. I would say, okay, that's good. I can't blow it too far,
Yeah, I know that I have room to make a mistake. And hopefully I won't, but
you play more free.
Yeah.
You're not as tense, and it's fine. But you had a lot of situations. I mean, with your team, you had a lot of situations where you played. Penalty kicks are tough.
Yeah, it's.
Where do most 12 and 13-year-old girls shoot the ball?
I feel like not all the way on the ground, but like a little bit in the air to the corner.
Okay. How many shots do you defend that are above your head? Not very many?
No, most of the ones that they attempt go out. I don't have to punch them out or anything like that.
Girls, Maddie, everybody, is it easier to shoot the ball, strike the ball harder and hit the glow kicks at your age, or is it harder to lift the ball? Do you find it harder to lift the ball? I think it depends on whether the ball's bouncing or whether it's, how the ball's presented to you. But if you have a free one, if you're kicking it and advancing it, you think that can you shoot it everywhere equally? Is that normal? See, I think in the way I play, I would be thinking a hard kick, like you're saying, to your right, my left would be a natural stroke that way,
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. pretty amazing what you guys have done. I can't get over no scoring, no goals at all. How many goals you give up during the regular season? How many shutouts did you have? A lot?
It just depends on who we played. So I would say more shutouts than goals.
Interesting. Were you surprised? Was the offense less talented than you thought in these tournaments?
Yeah, I came in with a mindset that they were all going to be
superstars.
Really, really good.
And they were just normal.
They were good, but I feel like I made them out to something more than they were. Not in a bad way. But
that's probably a good thing. Be prepared. Everybody on your team says your defensive line is your best part of your team. Of the three lines. I'm not getting in the goalie right now, but the three lines that they defend very well. They played together a long time?
I feel like they have a connection that has each other's backs. Yeah. So if something happens, you just forgive them.
Well, that's the way it is. It's no different than a safety picking up a long pass for a cornerback or something. You've got to know where everybody's going and moves. Can you guys tell when a teammate's in trouble? Yeah. I mean, you're dropping back. The centers are dropping back, and somebody breaks into the middle, but that defender player got turned around or something, so they're free coming to the middle. Do you come from the other side and help? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get that. Trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. Where's that video? Do you have a chance to load that video, Brad? Can we load it? Is there anything we can do? I know. I must ask. But there was a video. Who did the video? I saw you in the video. Me? Weren't you in the video? The video you sent me?
The one from WBIR?
Yeah, one with the three kids talking about the pro. Yes. Who was in that video? I told you Aurora was in it. Yeah.
And that was it. 2 girls were in it.
Okay.
And our team manager having it.
Okay. That was a good video. That was an excellent video. Okay. Is conditioning for a goalie different than conditioning for everybody else?
I feel like you should still be conditioned even if you are the goalie. I feel like that's not an excuse to not train.
Well, you still get tired standing up a whole game. I mean, I remember I played goalie intramural because I didn't want to run him down the field. I said, I'm going to play goalie. I got good hands. I'll play goalie. I don't want to. That's a long way. I looked at it, no, it ain't happening. I'm staying down here. I mean, so I was a basketball player, but that's kind of the way I thought about it. Because soccer fields are long, and they're wide. I mean, if you have good shooters, strikers, whatever you want to call them, you got a lot of ground to cover. I'll tell you, Tom Brady was on for his first broadcast a couple weeks ago, and he was excellent. And he got in there, and he talked about it to the announcer. He was the color guy. He said, you have to defend every blade of grass. You got to make them defend every blade of grass as a quarterback. And that's great when you conceptually think about that. If they have to worry about every position on the field, it makes it a much more difficult job for them. All right, so that's it. All right, so tell me about, and we've got a couple more minutes before we bring Miss Swisher back on, Miss Nikki. So if we get, I don't know how you pay for all this, to be honest with you. That's a lot of trips, et cetera. So I don't know how the parents can stay in the game, but I mean, we're going to try to help where we can. You're warming up. You're getting ready for the games. 30 minutes for the game. You're on the field. What does the goalie do?
We warm up on ground shots, so you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it feels like, at least that helps me because it gets you ready for shots that you just reaction and go.
But ground shots, you block it mostly with your feet?
No, if it's a dive.
How many times you dive a game? A couple?
Yeah, when I need to, yeah.
Dive hurts more.
I feel like it's not the normal reaction when you see a ball going. I feel like
that's interesting.
I feel
so your main reaction would be what? Just to reach forward?
Kick it away. I don't know.
Do you have formations where you get a ball at the goal and the midfielders and the forwards, everybody's breaking a certain way and you're trying to get the ball to a certain player to make it work?
Yeah, I feel like we try and get it up the field as much as we can to help our attackers not have to go back into the midfield and then go. So you just send it.
When you look at World Cup, once they get a 2-0 lead, all they're doing is pass. They're not attacking anymore. They're guarding the lead. Do y'all do that?
I feel like we stall if we have to. If we're up and there's not much time left, we just waste our time. At least I know me and...
Your story's a great one. And good luck at Webb, your career at Webb and everything else. They got a great soccer program.
Thank you.
They do. Thank you. I'm going to bring Nikki back on. No commercial. We're just going to change because we want to talk about the money a little bit. You guys are so great. That is so helpful. Every time I look at the 2011 thing, I think, oh, this must be some kind of historical show for the 2011 team. I want that changed.
The birth year, yes.
All right.
It's all about the birth year. Yes, sir. Aren't they great?
They are great
I'm telling
kids.
you,
They are
they're
great
good.
kids.
On and off the field, I'm telling you. They're fantastic. Yep.
I was most nervous with your daughter because she kept looking at me like, is that a real question? Kinley was tough. Kinley was tough. She was tough.
She's a hard sell.
She is a hard sell.
She is.
You can tell it.
Yeah.
Well, the other one's just whatever you know. That's
And
it.
she'll follow.
We need money. We need to get
Yes,
some. We need to get some things done. We're going to send this video out to a lot of people. And Nikki, you just got back from Texas. Parents are footing these bills, thousands and thousands of dollars. How can people help the Oak Ridge Soccer Club?
Yes. Well, like you said, I think it's really tough because I don't think any of us saw this coming.
That's
so financially, we weren't really prepared
yeah.
for all of this. But it's a beautiful thing to have to worry about. For
Absolutely, sure.
Yes, we have a couple of ways that we could get some support. Of course, we can have some sponsorships. So if there are any small businesses that would like to sponsor, we can certainly do that, and we will advertise for them. And that's the one thing I did want to say. If I can plug in, like Rocky Top Tours has been such a blessing. This will be the third bus we've rented from them. We took a bus to state and we took a bus to Texas, and then now we're winding up in Kansas with them. But he has really done a great job of taking some money off of our cost, which has been
Not
great.
cheap. Tour buses aren't cheap.
No, they are not cheap.
Because they got to keep a driver down there for a week. It's
you
tough,
do.
It's
You
tough
have
business.
to pay for the driver and his hotel and expenses. So, but we also will have the screen that was just up. There's a QR code that's right there.
Can we go back to that screen, please? Yeah, right there.
Yes,
Where's
in
the
the
QR
bottom
code on the
right-hand
bottom? Can you,
corner.
any
Yep,
way to raise
right
that up?
below.
I can't see it.
But they can scan that QR code,
Oh, yeah, I
and it's
got you.
also on our Facebook pages too. It's on
The
the
QR
stores.
code that's on the actual picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you want to scan that,
Can you get it? Can
yes,
you
you
get it
can
with
use your phone. Yep,
Yeah.
and it's called.
You can. I'm old.
It's called Give Butter, and for every $1,000 that is raised, we actually get to keep like 900 of it. So it's a really good
On the scan code
Yes,
thing,
on the
right.
scan code. Yes, I think it's not. I can't remember the exact.
We got to
ratio.
get some teams. Now,
Mark,
here's the deal. Now,
I can't read your lips, baby. What do you say?
yeah, just say
Sorry.
it out loud. It doesn't matter.
What, honey? Oh, yes, I will.
What's that? Go
Yeah, Michael was just wanting to mention some of the small businesses that have really stepped up have been some of the parents have businesses. And then Way to Go Weight Loss Center, Mark Smith, made a huge contribution. Like
My
he
man.
is,
Got 2
yeah,
minutes. Go ahead.
So good. So we're just so appreciative of all the small businesses that have stepped up and helped out already. But there's definitely other ways that we can get some help in, and it's not too late.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
How many kids? 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where do you want to eat? What restaurant would you want to eat at more than any other restaurant? That's every kid says that.
I mean, is that even a question? You know what they're going to see?
Yeah, but I mean,
like,
you
do
think
you
they'd want to
sit
go,
down,
yeah, et cetera, et
fast
cetera.
food, or?
All right, I want them to get what they want. I will buy one meal in Wichita for them, whatever it is, all of them. I'll get you the money.
That's very generous. Thank you. Uh-huh.
Everybody except for Kate. The okay. Amazing story. How much time we got? 30 seconds. 1 minute. I'm really impressed with these kids. I've had high school kids that aren't that mature.
I mean, they're awesome. They're special. And
yeah.
when people, I mean, we've been saying this for a couple of years now. They are truly a special team.
Well, that's why they're winning.
Like, the parents get along well. We're family. I mean, we could pick up the phone. We could call any member of our team and say, hey, I need you. They would stop what they're doing to be there. I mean, it's a true family. Yeah, on and off the field. It's truly special.
Well, Zara comes across like a college kid.
Yes.
We got to
And she's one of the younger ones.
You got to do this. You got to that's it, et cetera, et cetera. And all of them just so great.
Yeah.
All the kids were wonderful and entertaining. They were entertaining. They were great.
Well, good.
And,
well, we appreciate you having us on.
I
for
did.
Sure.
Just take it and text it. You send us a box cast and we're going to go. How much time we got? 5 seconds. 15. We got 15. You can say a lot in 15.
We can take a lot of time. We can say
Should we
a lot.
run Michael over real quick? Put him in the
should.
screen.
Honey.
How many parents are going on the trip?
All of us are going. Yeah.
Every kid's parents are going?
Every kid's
Wow.
parent is going. Yes.
Thank you for watching.